Good morning, stackers. Here's a potential silver price move that might excite you. My name is Joe Main. The show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. Let's do a quick synchronized slurp. Grab your tasty beverage. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, silver on the monthly time frame. This is the macro view. I'm showing you this for a specific reason, then we'll go into the micro view and show you what potentially might be coming that you might be excited for. Markets move generally in 3 main phases. So this is silver going all the way back to 1980, 2011, and where we are right now. So they go in 3 main phases. Accumulation, these won't be drawn in perfectly. Public participation phase, where sort of almost, every man and his dog is getting in. And then the excess phase, which is kind of like the mania euphoria phase. Okay. Then after the excess phase, after these 3 phases play out, you have generally a larger consolidation, which retraces almost the entire move. Now, within the accumulation, public participation, and excess phases on the macro time frame, you have the mini versions as well. So exactly within here, there'll be some kind of accumulation, public participation, and excess phase. Same within here, and then even then you'll have phases within phases within phases. Okay, makes sense? Good. Hope that explains it. Let's go to the more micro right now. So let's pop it onto the daily time frame, and we'll keep it on linear for the moment. Then I'll pop it on logarithmic maybe a bit later. So we might be at the end of an excess phase right now, just a mini excess phase, okay? So some people might draw this in something like this: accumulation here, public participation, and excess. Again, this is on the daily time frame. This is when we came down to that $28.40 level, okay? And then we had a general sort of 5-wave move. Now, accumulation, public participation, and excess phases align very well with Elliott wave theory, if you're familiar with that. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not a huge expert. But you can see they kind of tie in together, and I'll show you that in just a second. But this could be the end of an excess phase just on a midi time frame, and we might be seeing a further move down, which is going to retrace this entire move. So where could it retrace down to? We'll take a look. Now I'm going to pop in that Elliott wave stuff that I just talked about. So it could be doing the following, and this is actually, I'm going to give a big plug to Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. I'm part of their academy. I'm actually part of their 12-month comprehensive course. I just started it a couple of weeks ago, and this is the amazing Shane here at Mastering the Markets. He's an Elliott wave, a certified Elliott wave technician. Now, he posted just a few days ago about what he believes is a bit of a retracement coming in silver. Okay, and he talks about the 5-wave moves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an A, B, C correction. Okay, now that kind of again fits in with the accumulation, public participation, and excess phases as well. Now, I think this is pretty much, and he's much more of an expert than me, but I think it aligns very well. So I think on balance of probability, it's more likely we see a bit of a dip in the price, and that's what you might be excited for at the moment, and say only a potential move at this stage. But let's have a look. So there you've got, again, accumulation, public participation, excess phase, if they are drawn in correctly. Now we're going to pop in Elliott wave stuff. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after an Elliott wave 5-wave move, you tend to have a correction, which is like an A, B, C. And I'll pop that right in here. Now that's roughly there. Now with Fibonacci, if I go back to the monthly time frame just for a second, let's go back to that macro move. And remember how I said after an excess phase, after the 3 phases have played out, you have a sort of longer drawn out move, and it tends to retrace the entire move. So if I pop in Fibonacci here, and we use Fibonacci analysis as well, I do too, you can see it came all the way down actually through the normal support range that you would want to see held, and that's actually I'll pop it between here and here. It's between the 0.382 and the 0.618. So 618 and the 0.382. It retraced the entire move actually even further down. So that's a huge move after we popped out to that $50, all the way back down to sort of $14, even a little move down into there to like $12. Now, I don't think something like that is going to happen this time, because this is just a little mini move rather than this sort of macro the macro phases. Cool. So pop back onto the daily, and we'll use some Fibonacci, and I'll take it from this low and this high. If I pop that in right here, it should be here already. So from this low and this high, and then I'll pop in the expected support range, or the zag zone as it's called, and that's again somewhere between the 0.618 and the 0.382. So when we combine all of these three things together, okay, the phases, okay, and this is just mini phases within a larger macro phase. Cool. You've got the Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an ABC correction, and then the Fibonacci from this low and this high. It's kind of centering around roughly an area of about $35.30. So I'm calling it roughly between $34 and $35-ish. Dollars is where it's most likely that we have a retracement from here. Now, of course, nothing is 100% certain, and if we start clearing above that $39.50, start breaking that recent high, then that obviously is going to be invalidated. But it's the most likely setup at this stage, and I do agree with Shane, and everything I'm learning at Mastering the Markets is leading me to that opinion as well, that this is the most likely scenario from here. So I think we probably see some lower prices coming, and this is what you might be excited for. So again, it's a potential silver price move down to at least, and we say at least the top end of this zag zone from this low and this high into this expected support range. Okay, so it can dip further, okay, and it's all just a potential move at this stage, but you might be excited to scoop up some cheaper silver. And on the more macro version, we are heading much, much higher, in my opinion. We're going to break $50 silver. We're going to get into triple digit US dollar silver as well, and probably multiple triple digits in the years coming. But just between now and say roughly the end of August, early September, we might be seeing a bit of a larger move down. It's just going to retrace this accumulation, public participation, excess phase, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fibonacci, and then from this low and this high, get into this zag zone right here. So the top end again, $35.30, but you'll give it anywhere down to that sort of $32.70 area. Now, I don't believe that we'll actually get down as low as that 618 right there. I'm favoring anywhere between here and here, okay? And what would be ultra bullish is if we bounce off the $35.30 kind of mark, okay, 35-ish kind of mark, and then just onwards and upwards, we go. And then once we break that $39.50, then we'll talk about onwards to $50 and higher. But I'll give it anywhere down to that $34 level. Why? Well, it's coming up to previous resistance. You've got that resistance zone right about here between it's roughly there if you can see it. So it's between that sort of $34.50 to, where are we, $35 zone. It's kind of down into there actually. That's where I think. So it's that between that $34 and $34.50 is that previous resistance zone. So I think you can get anywhere down into that zone right here. So I'll pop it even in a little mini zone within that zone. Okay, phases within phases. That's what I'm actually more banking on. So hopefully that makes as much sense as humanly possible. Given you the case for it, I do believe it to be more than likely. Is it 100% certain? No, nothing's 100% certain. If you had to, put my feet to the fire and say, I'd probably give it an 80% chance at this stage that we see this happen and get somewhere into that zone right there, rather than breaking up from there. Of course, we'll give a 20% chance that we break out. And that's pretty much it. So that is the silver potential price move that you might be excited for. Why might you be excited? Because you're looking to load up at lower prices. Now leave a comment below wherever you can place comments and replies, and let me know, would that be exciting for you? And of course, as I said to you before, the show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. Head over to perthbullion.com.au if you want to buy physical precious metals. They do free shipping when you have 20 or more items in your order, and you can mix and match, not just 20 of one thing, mix and match 3 of this, 1 of that, 2 of that. Get free shipping, express delivery, sign-on delivery, and fully insured as well. They're one of the only bullion dealers in Australia, and they were the first to offer free shipping when you buy over any kind of quantity within Australia. Okay, feel lucky that you know about Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and I did mention Mastering the Markets just before. I am doing their year-long comprehensive course, but you can do their 10-week foundational course as well, or you can just join the Mastering the Markets Academy for free. There is a free version. If you go to academy.masteringthemarkets.com, sign up for free. You'll get all their publicly listed posts that they do, and then that might wet your whistle, and you might want to be paid of a part of their paid subscription service to the all the other stuff in the Mastering the Markets Academy without even having to sign up for a course. That has been the silver potential price move. I hope you're potentially excited for it. I go live on Tuesdays and on Thursdays, and I do all my other stuff in between where I talk about precious metals, stocks, crypto, and all that kind of stuff as well. Let's do a final synchronized slurp. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Thanks for watching. My name is Joe Main. This is Good Morning Stackers. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I'll see you soon.